Personally, to put it simply, it's outdated. I don't believe in caste system because to me, caste is just a surname, and you should not strip away one's human rights just because their surname is different. And I don't believe in that oppression either.
I think it's really sad, like even now it's still happening, but I do think slowly it is changing. And I think we just need to understand that it's been decades and decades of, like oppression which has been normalized. So it will take us a very long time to, not have that kind of thinking, because it's become sort of like part of our daily life, like part of our culture, religion, everything.
I think it's really bad, It should change, but अहिलेसम्म change भएको छैन.
It's kind of a very vague and a sensitive question, but it's just my honest opinion. तर नेपाल छोडेको निकै भयो, but still हालसालको खबरले गर्दा चाहिँ अझसम्म पनि अब यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ अब समाचारमा आइराख्ने स्लोली डिक्लाइन हुनुको साटो चाहिँ झन् यसको कर्भ चाहिँ माथि बढेको भएको हुनाले चाहिँ आफूलाई यहाँ विदेशमा भएको नेपालीहरू चाहिँ जस्तै मलाई चाहिँ इट फिल्स रियली स्याड.
मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने यो अनगोइङ कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेसन छ यो बेलायतमा यो युकेमा चाहिँ धेरै कम भइसकेको छ हैन. मान्छेहरू चाहिँ धेरै एजुकेसन भएर चाहिँ तल्लो जात उपल्लो जात भनेर चाहिँ अब अलमोस्ट हटिसकेको छ. तर अब नेपालको बारेमा अब कुरा गरौँ भने चाहिँ अब नेपालमा चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अझै छ, एकदम धेरै चाहिँ हाम्रो गाउँमा छ हैन. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ अब हामीले चाहिँ मान्छेलाई शिक्षित गराउनु पर्यो, अवेरनेस दिनु पर्यो. फर एक्जाम्पल अहिले चाहिँ अब यो कोभिड लागिरहेछ हैन, त्यो अब प्रेजेन्टली गर्न नसके पनि एज अ मिडिया हैन थ्रुबाट नि यस्तो गर्न मिल्छ.
I wouldn't call the term ongoing because it's been going on for the last few decades. It's been more profoundly affected at the moment because of misinformed education and informed education. Yes, so it plays a big part of role in the Nepalese community at the moment.
Caste system पहिलाको कम्पेरिजनमा अहिले चाहिँ धेरै राम्रो हो, तर कुनै कुरा पनि त्यतिकै छिटो हट्दैन नि त. सो अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो भएको भने मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ मिडिया अगाडि मात्र आएको. कास्ट सिस्टम पहिला जस्तो त छैन नि. इट्स क्वाइट बेटर राइट नाउ. सो अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ नि, मिडियाले इम्फेसाइज त गरेको छ तर त्यसको इमेज चाहिँ टु मच ब्याड देखाइदिएको छ मिडियाले. सो कास्ट सिस्टम एक कुरामा राम्रो पनि हो, द्याट्स आवर कल्चर, हामी त्यसरी ब्रट अप भएको हो. तर कुनै कुरा चाहिँ कास्ट सिस्टममा नराम्रो छ, त्यो जायज हो, तर त्यसलाई चाहिँ मिडियाले चाहिँ इम्फेसाइज चाहिँ टु मच गरेको भएर मात्र हो अहिले यस्तो लाग्यो.
I think the first step is to really know your knowledge and educate yourself what the discrimination Dalits have faced so far, who is being discriminated against and why. So know your history, know your roots. Also communicate with your family members first. Start with your family, I think. Communication is the biggest key to it all. So it'll create like a ripple effect. They'll, if we change our family's mindset first, then they can start and communicate with other people and maybe hopefully change the society as well.
I think we're already taking the first step, like especially with our generation. I do believe like our thinking has changed a lot compared to even our like parents or our grandparents. Also, just by us learning about it, talking about it, I believe that we already are changing, and all we can now do is carry on that way and also let the future generation know about it, tell them, educate ourselves, and like we can just hope for the best that we are changing in a positive direction.
So मलाई चाहिँ लाग्छ फर्स्ट कुरा चाहिँ you need to educate yourself on this matter हैन. त्यो गरेपछि चाहिँ then you can आफूले आफ्नो ओपिनियनहरु you can share it to people. मलाई चाहिँ त्यो लाग्छ हैन. त्यो फर्स्ट कुरा भयो. अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ younger generation हरुलाई चाहिँ पहिलेबाट नै हुन्छ नि we need to educate them about what is wrong and what is right भनेर. अनि अर्को third thing चाहिँ old generation people हरु उनीहरुलाई चाहिँ we should correct them and educate them about this matter, not in like हुन्छ नि त्यो wrong हो त्यस्तो हो भनेर हैन, like in a calm manner welcome them and हैन यस्तो हो हैन तपाईहरुले सोचेको कुराहरु गलत हो भनेर हैन राम्रोसित सम्झाउने.
तर अब यो भिन्नता छ, जातीय छ, सबै जातीयमा सबै आफ्नो त्यो रीतिरिवाज परम्पराले चाहिँ धनी छ. I don't think so it gonna be चेन्ज द मच. एक अर्का आपसमा चाहिँ कस्तो दृष्टिकोणले हेर्ने, त्यो हेर्ने तरिका सोचाइ हैन, त्यसमा चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ चेन्जेस ल्याउनु पर्छ. भेरी ग्रासरुट लेभलदेखि, नर्सरी क्लासदेखि लिएर कम्युनिटी सोसाइटीमै तलदेखि नै चाहिँ यो इन्क्लुसिभनेस चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ यसमा चाहिँ थरीथरीको जात जाति बसेको छ यो कम्युनिटीदेखि लिएर चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्ट अनि एजुकेसन सेक्टर यसमा चाहिँ फेरि तर जस्तै म नेपालमा चाहिँ हाई स्कुलसम्म चाहिँ नेपालमा पढेँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ अब थरीथरीको जात जाति क्लासरुममा थियो सबै केही मतलब हुन्थेन घर पुग्दाखेरि चाहिँ समथिङ बाबा आमाबाट चाहिँ अलिक डिफ्रेन्ट भ्युजहरू चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो त्यो चाहिँ बाबा आमा उनीहरू हामीभन्दा अगाडिको मान्छेहरू तर हाम्रोमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो हुन्थेन सँगै खेल्थ्यो सँगै खान्थ्यो तर अहिले आएर नि स्टिल त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ होइन त्यसमा चाहिँ जस हामीले चाहिँ त्यो इन्क्लुसिभनेस त्यो कन्टिन्युटी हुनु पर्यो
सबभन्दा फर्स्ट स्टेप पहिला पाइला भनेको नि आफूबाट स्टार्ट हुन्छ कि यो चाहिँ अब अरूले भनेर गर्नु र आफूले गर्नुमा धेरै हुन्छ नि अब धेरै भिन्नता छ तर आफैबाट सुरु भयो भने चाहिँ यो चाहिँ आफै भित्रबाट आएको एउटा मोटिभेसन हो नि त अनि त्यो आफू भित्रबाट आएको चाहिँ मोटिभेसन चाहिँ एकदम स्ट्रङ पनि हुन्छ होइन अनि केही कुरा चेन्ज गर्नु पर्यो भने चाहिँ अर्कालाई चेन्ज गर्नुभन्दा नि आफूले चेन्ज गर्यो भने चाहिँ बल्ल सबै कुरा चेन्ज हुँदै जान्छ होइन सो सानो या ठुलो जस्तो सुकै हुन्छ नि पाइला चाले पनि सुरु गर्ने नै ठुलो कुरा हो
किनभने यो चाहिँ सिस्टम हो नि त सिस्टमलाई चेन्ज गर्न चाहिँ इट्स नट गोइङ टु ह्यापन ओभरनाइट होइन इट टेक्स अ लङ टाइम लाइक द फर्स्ट थिङ आई वुड से इज टु फाइन्ड आउट वाट द रुट कजेस होइन रादर देन जस्ट लाइक होइन यो मान्छेले यस्तो गर्यो हुन्थ्यो यो मान्छेले यस्तो गर्यो हुन्थ्यो यस्तो नभने हुन्थ्यो लाइक जस्ट फोकसिङ अन द बिहेभियर गर्नुभन्दा पनि लाइक लेट्स फोकस अन वाट द रुट कजेस होइन एन्ड वन्स वी फाइन्ड आउट वाट द रुट कजेस वेदर द्याट्स ए बिलिफ सिस्टम whether that's the manchiko sochai hos and then once we find that out we work inside out by educating people raising awareness having that simple conversation with your friends and families about sensible social issues I know it's difficult and हामी सबैले गर्दैनौँ and I'm guilty of that I don't always talk about these things because I guess in a way we are fortunate because हामी चाहिँ अब त्यो अब lower caste अब के दलित भन्छ मान्छेहरूले हैन we haven't experienced that so we're very fortunate त्यही भएर पनि हामीले त्यस्तो कुराहरू त्यति गर्दैनौँ
Yes, definitely. I think none of us should be treated unequal or treated as second-hand citizens just because of our surnames or our occupation or our caste. I think it's a very unusual way to treat someone and very not up to the human being standards that we should live by.
Yeah, I definitely think that because you're basically like stigmatizing them, labeling them, and I feel like that has a lot impact on their mental health. Like you're saying you're untouchable. I don't think no one deserves to be called untouchable. Like even we touch our pets, we're treating them worse than animals. So yeah.
Definitely, I think by law it is already illegal, like derogatory terms like that. However, I think as a society, as I said, because it has been like sort of imprinted, into our like normal everyday life, it will take time for us to completely get rid of those words. But hopefully in our lifetime that we will stop using those terms.
हजुर म चाहिँ यसमा चाहिँ अति नै मेरो तर्फबाट चाहिँ यसै भन्छु हैन किनकि तपाईँ मान्छे भनेको मान्छे नै हो हैन यतिकै उसको बिना केही हुन्छ नि उसले केही कुरा नि नराम्रो गरेको छैन हैन केही अब हुन्छ नि अब अपराधहरू केही गरेको छैन भने चाहिँ उसलाई चाहिँ किन यतिकै हुन्छ नि अब उसलाई चाहिँ किन उसलाई हेप्ने उसलाई चाहिँ नराम्रो ट्रिटमेन्ट दिने हैन सबैको मन हुन्छ हैन सबै मान्छेको चाहिँ इक्वल छ के उ हुनुपर्ने इक्वालिटी छ के हुन्छ नि जिउनु पर्ने हैन अनि मलाई चाहिँ त्यस्तो लाग्छ
Yes, I would say I would definitely agree to the fact हामीले चाहिँ अब यस्तो वर्डहरू हटाउनै पर्छ त्यो हामीले हटाउनु पर्छ भने पनि it's more of the fact that how much can we inform and educate everyone what the word and its meaning is behind it के जस्तै कि अब कालीहरूलाई कसैले देख्यो भने अहिले BLM मुभमेन्ट पनि भइरहेको छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि कसैले यो भन्छ यो नाम दिन्छ अब अहिले एजेन्टहरूलाई पनि यताउता तैँले कोभिडलाई त चमेरा भन्छ नि त and I think that plays a big role as well. Yeah, definitely, like just the word अछुत दलित or whether that's untouchable हैन it's a label हो नि त अनि लास्टमा चाहिँ लेबलिङले के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि it kind of puts people in a category like compartmentalize गर्छ नि त whether you say someone is black, white, gay, lesbian, whatever you call them हैन once you label them, once you stereotype गरेपछि चाहिँ you tend to judge them, you tend to have prejudice before you even meet them, so it's completely stupid and like it's not sensible again.
The thing is like हजुरले कसरी लिनुहुन्छ त्यो कुरा चाहिँ जस्तो म हजुर र म साथी हो हजुर र म कुरा गर्छौँ त्यतिलाई भन्छु that will be like nothing तर म हजुरलाई चिनेको छैन अहिले तर मैले त्यो कुरा हजुरलाई भने भने लाइक हजुरले अफेन्डेड फिल गर्नुहुन्छ सो मान्छेले बाहिरबाट हेर्दा चाहिँ त्यो मान्छेले त्यो वर्डहरू युज गर्यो अछुत भनेर युज गर्यो त्यस्तो कुराहरू अब कस्तो हुन्छ नि बाहिरबाट मान्छेले हेर्दा मात्रै नराम्रो सुनिरहेको तर हामी साथी हो भने हामीले त्यो कुरा मात्रै ख्याल गर्नुपर्ने त्यस्तो मेरो सोचाइ लाग्छ
Yes, I think my family still does that have casteist views, but they're not very strict upon the whole untouchables and Dalits. Like they don't treat Dalits or any lower caste as a different human being. And in a sense of marriage and stuff, they're still very strict on that. But I'm still trying to argue with them and communicate with them that, you know, it's normal to marry someone from other caste, other cultures, other religion. So I'm still trying to fight back.
People from my generation, people from my age, I've never seen anyone who is against it. But people from the older generation, I've seen loads of it because, you know, everyone has their own preferences. They have their own opinion. So I'm pretty sure my family have their own opinion regarding this caste system.
I think there are still some like casteism views amongst like our family, maybe not so much friends, but there is definitely, especially when it comes to like things like marriage and stuff, they still believe that you should marry. So like for me, rai bhaera rai bihe garनुपर्छ. I don't agree with that, but I can also understand where they're coming from. So we have lost a lot of our culture, for example, our language and like even religion, like a lot has changed for us. So I understand where they're coming from and I don't agree with them, but at the same time, they have grown up in a different like generation to us, like to a different environment. They have experienced different things. I believe they themselves have experienced, you know, the casteism and all that, whereas we haven't. So I think it's really easy for us to just, you know, say like disagree with them and argue with them, but I think we should try to understand them as well because they come from like a different time. And I think with our generation though, this will change. Like even to my parents, I always tell them, okay, I might like rai bihe गर्ने, I might agree with that, but then after me, it will end. And they know that as well. So
म भन्दा अगाडिको जस्तै मेरो हजुरबा हैन इभन बाबाआमा उहाँहरुको हुन्छ किनभने उहाँहरु भन्दा अगाडिको पूर्वजहरुले नि हैन यो फलानु चाहिँ फलानु हो फलानु फलानु हो फलानु फलानुको हो तल आइरहेको छ भन्नाले सोचाइ भ्यूहरु हैन उनीहरु चाहिँ हैन संलग्न हुनुपर्छ भनेर अझसम्म चाहिँ पोजिटिभ यो चाहिँ पोजिटिभ दिशातिरै गइरहेको जस्तो लागेको थियो हैन तर हो फेरि नेपालमा फेरि ठाउँ अनुसार फेरि कति ठाउँमा चाहिँ अब काठमाडौँ सहर भने एकदम डेभलप छ भने अब सुदूरपश्चिममा गयो भने स्टिल झन्डै झन्डै ढुङ्गे कालमै छ त्यस्तो त्यो डेभलपमेन्टको देशको डेभलपमेन्टको आधारमा पनि सानो देशमा पनि अब अझ स्टिल त्यो सोचाइ त्यो भएको छ
मेरो साथीहरु भन्दा नि मेरो साथीहरु चाहिँ अब एकदम मोडर्नाइज भइसक्यो हैन साथीभाइहरुमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो डिस्क्रिमिनेसन तल्लो जात उपल्लो जात भन्ने त्यस्तो चाहिँ तर मेरो फ्यामिलीमा चाहिँ अब स्पेशली मेरो अब बाजे बजे अनि गाउँतिरै हुन्छ हैन डिस्क्रिमिनेसन गाउँमै भइरहेको छ तर मेरो फ्यामिलीमा एज अ बाबा मम्मीमा चाहिँ पहिला भन्दा चाहिँ धेरै नै कम भइसकेको छ हैन तर अलिअलि स्टिल नै छ भन्छु
Casteism views. My family, I'm fortunate to have like open-minded family. Having said that, I think they do prefer like when it comes to marriage and things like that, they do prefer that it is the same caste, not because they are bad people, but because that's just how they've been raised. It's like your belief system, casteism, your system, it's something that's passed on from one generation to another. Like after parents, they have children like sigaउँछ, and then they grow up and then they go after बच्चाहरु सिकाउँछ. So we need to break that cycle if we want to like really start the change.
Not at the moment. किनभने पहिला चाहिँ थियो few like 8 or 10 years ago, because I didn't know much about stuff as well. अब यसलाई नि थाहा थिएन. I never knew. मलाई चाहिँ अब यसलाई यो चाहिँ तल्लो जात हो, यो त्यस्तो छुन हुन्न भन्थे नि, मलाई त थाहा थिएन. But now I'm starting to understand more about what's going on, what's happening. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ अहिले सोसाइटी स्ट्यान्डर्डले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ बिगारेको छ.